Halal Hangouts, welcome to our show in partnership with ReviveFM 94.0 FM. Boy, have we got a juicy show today, guys. Fine dining, Marco Pierre White, KSI beats Logan Paul, modest fashion, Sonic the Hedgehog, and burger giveaways. All on today's show.
I'm Taff, and this is Shaz, also on the waves. First, we'll be talking about what we ate last week and tell you, our fabulous listeners, about the hottest place to go and the not so good.
The second segment, guys, is the lifestyle show, and today's show we're going to cover Generation M. You will find out who Generation M are very soon, with a focus on modest fashion and food.
And the final segment of today's show is Hanging Out, where we will be hanging out with our listeners, answering your brilliant questions and taking calls live. So start sending us your questions on Instagram right now and call in on 0333 444 0940 later on in the show.
And guys, to add, for every caller who calls in Hanging Out segment, they will get a free and original fat burger. Jeez. That's so, fellow Halal Hangout listeners, let's get this show on the road.
All right, on to what we ate last week, and that's what everyone wants to know. That's what I want to know. I want to know what you ate, Shaz, but let's start with mine. So I went to Mr. White's English Chop House in Whitechapel. This is Marco Pierre's restaurant, and for those of you who don't know Marco Pierre, he's a celebrity chef, one of the first ever. Like, he started way back in 1994, and one of his claim to fame is training Gordon Ramsay and making Gordon Ramsay cry.
Really?
Yeah.
Making him cry?
Yeah. He trained him. I don't know. Maybe his cheesecake wasn't good enough, and he just said, "Ah."
Is he like would you say like the first celebrity chef?
Yeah, I'd say the first male celebrity chef out there, and the youngest as well. Like, he started when he was 32, and he started a lot earlier, but he got 3 Michelin stars when he was 32, so he became the elite chefs. So he's
3 Michelin stars.
Yeah,
I hear he's a Leeds boy.
Yeah. Oh, is he?
Yeah, man. I've got to know these things. All my family, all my mum's side from up north. They're from Leeds, so got to big up Leeds crew. So I think Marco Pierre White is from Leeds.
Okay, well, maybe our listeners can confirm that.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Let us know. Let us know on IG. Are we right or wrong?
So it's a chop house. So if you don't know what a chop house is, it serves thick cuts of meat, nice sort of like lamb chops and steaks and things like that. So that's exactly what this place was. It was a very in Whitechapel, in a very chic hotel, very nice decor. I mean, I was very impressed when I walked in. It was like very shabby chic Shoreditch type, and I ordered some starters. I ordered calamari, and calamari was amazing. It was nicely cut, wasn't rubbery, and it had this lovely batter.
Was it rubbery?
No, it wasn't. I mean,
normally bounce around.
I mean, most calamari I eat is always rubbery. They always get it wrong. They always mess it up. So this was a breath of fresh air. And then I had a steak, which wasn't very good. I mean, I'm going to be straightforward here. It was a bit overcooked. I asked for medium, and I was expecting the best.
No way.
And I just
hold on.
Go on.
Marco Pierre White didn't cook it, did he?
I don't know if he did.
Because if he did, that's terrible.
It's shambolic.
That is shambolic for sure.
And the pick of the night was the onion soup. So if you go there, I've never had an onion soup that good. So definitely worth a shout. And it's about £30 per person. And the other pick of the mains was the Barnsley lamb chops. So in Barnsley.
So they're just chops from Barnsley?
Yeah, they come from Barnsley Football Club.
Barnsley lamb chops sound so much more appealing than just saying chops from Barnsley Football Club.
Well, they don't actually come from the football club. I made a football reference that you completely missed. Like, whew.
Sorry, man. I've got to wake up today.
Yeah, where did you go, Shaz?
So before we go on though, you got to tell the listeners, how was it? Like, you've got to give it a rating, surely.
Well, I didn't want to go there, Shaz, but you're twisting my arm.
Let's not be hasty.
I'd say a 3-star.
3-star, yeah?
3-star for taste. Service was 4-star. They were good. And price, £30, which is for, one of those, for the way it looks, it's really worth it.
It's just your opinion, you know? It's a balanced one.
Yeah.
But would you say it's somewhere you would go again?
I think so. I'd go there again. I'd give him another, I wouldn't order the steak. I'd just go for the lamb chops and onion soup. Yeah, definitely.
Lamb chops and onion soup. And for steaks, it's quite difficult because getting good halal steaks isn't easy. Is this up there in as a option besides the experience you had?
Yeah.
Did you go alone? Did everyone else enjoy the food?
I went with a very large group, and maybe that contributed to the sort of overcookedness because we were 17 people.
17 people?
Yeah.
So did everyone think it was a 3-star? Did anyone else enjoy the food?
No one said it was bad.
Yeah.
No, only a few people raved about it. So it's a balance, So I think my opinion's pretty moderate, middle ground.
Middle ground.
So I'm dying to hear where you went, Shaz.
So I went to, so we're going to be covering, since you're covering, so what do you call it? Fine dining? Classic British?
Yeah.
Classic English cuisine. So if we're going to go across that line, I'm going to have to say I would like to talk about the Waldorf Hilton.
Ooh.
I actually went there.
Was it halal?
It was halal. Very good question. So the chicken is halal. Okay. But make sure you explicitly state you're looking for halal chicken so that they don't cook it with anything dodgy.
So you could you walk in with a toppy or something and just to
be honest, everyone was dressed well. So it's a fine dining restaurant. It's classic English, but it's got a modern European twist, and you see that throughout the menu. We went with the set menu, which was around £35 to £40 for 3 courses.
Okay.
But in terms of the attire, you got to rock up ready. One is never overdressed.
You got to come correct.
All right. If you don't come correct, don't bother. You got to come dressed up. I would say that for anywhere where you're kind of you're going to a lovely establishment like the Waldorf Hilton is. Everyone's very hardy-har, very well to do, including the chefs and the staff. And I would say that you've got kind of dressed for the occasion, so definitely do that.
What kind of ensemble did you put on, Chef?
So I went with a hoodie and I went with a hoodie and trackies with my Air Force Ones.
All right. So you didn't go for the chopper then?
Not the chopper. No, I didn't go for the chopper. So so I went with the obviously you have to either go for the fish, vegetarian, or the chicken option. Right. So I went with the chicken breast, which had the skin on, which was nice and crispy, and it came with a side of truffle mash, which was beautiful, and it's in some kind of jus, like a gravy. Alongside that, we got some triple cooked chips. Nice. We're on the menu, had to throw it in. Carbs on carbs, Right. And then before that, we had a salmon starter, which I'll be honest, piddly portions. Very piddly portions. That's the way I can refer to it. I wouldn't say that is anything to write home about. The salmon starter, it was nice. It kind of did what it said on the tin. It was just a few slices of salmon. And then we had the chicken breast with the truffle mash, which was beautiful. It was gorgeous, really nice and tasty. The chicken was very nice and moist and seasoned well, and the jus that it was in was beautiful. The truffle mash, wow, very creamy, very rich. Really enjoyed the mains. Then we went on to desserts, obviously. Why are you looking at me like that, dude?
Well,
what's up?
I'm waiting for this because I saw all the pictures on Instagram, and you've described. Let's talk about the dessert. Tell me about it.
Well, you guys can go onto Instagram and check it out as well for yourself, and see some of the pictures for the place I went and for the place Altaf went. Yeah. The dessert was a chocolate lava cake. Ooh. You know when you cut through the chocolate cake, and then that hot molten chocolate just drips out, just oozes out. Ooh. Doesn't drip, it oozes out. Nice. It didn't ooze out like I would have hoped, but it was okay.
Oh,
was
man.
okay, man.
The
It was
pictures look
alright.
so good.
I know, but the pictures are deceiving, man. You know these IG food pics that you see.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how good the food is until you taste it. Right?
Okay.
It might look good on camera until
Yeah.
you taste it. That's what we're here for. That's what Halal Hangouts is here for, to give you the
Definitely.
best. I went with an Aphrodite mocktail as well.
Excuse me.
Yes.
And
That's-
a what?
An Aphrodite mocktail. Aphodite. Is it Aphrodite or Aphrodite?
Like the Greek mythological
Person?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know the context to it.
Yeah.
Someone let us know on IG who's Aphrodite or who's Aphrodite. What does that mean? But it was a mocktail they had. They have a mocktail menu, which has some good options. You got your pina colada, and you have your classic kind of mocktails, mojito, for example, virgin mojitos. But I went for the Aphrodite mocktail, and that was just fresh berries.
Right.
Fresh berry juice, I guess you could call it. I can't remember all the exact ingredients, but it was nice. It was fresh. It was very sugary, as a mocktail is. You can never down one of those things, can you?
Oh, no.
Can you ever down a mocktail?
Well, they're so sweet.
Too sweet.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's too much. So did you watch, have you been, like how I've been stalking you on Instagram? Have you been stalking anyone else?
Since you're talking about stalking Instagrammers, that's what I do. I really don't, but we do have some faves. We do have some favourite people that we like to sort of have a little gander, see what they're up to. Halal girl about town. Now she's big in the game.
Yeah, I've definitely rate Halal Girl. I'm always watching what Halal Girl's eating and trying to, follow. And, she's quite, she varies things quite a lot.
She is. She does vary a lot, and also she appeals to quite a big mass audience. She doesn't just cover meat. She covers all different types of cuisines. And I was just having a little gander through her profile just to see what she ate last week, and she went with this halal Philly cheesesteak. Yes, sirree. It was called the Big 'Un.
The Big 'Un?
The Big 'Un.
All right. Don't give it the Big 'Un.
Yeah, don't give it the Big 'Un, mate, right? But she did. She gave it the Big 'Un. And it's all over her Instagram, and it was from a place called Philly Cheesesteak Company.
Oh, right.
So they're in Leather Lane. You know Leather Lane.
Oh, yeah.
Good
like
old
in
Leather
City.
Lane. Near the jewelry place.
Hatton Garden.
Right opposite. And they've got lots of great places there, actually. It's like lots of street food. But the halal Philly cheesesteak, that's a place you can pick up at Leather Lane.
Okay.
Yeah. So the other person who had a little look at recently was London Foodie on Instagram, at London Foodie. He's a blogger as well, and he went to Dobar, Turkish restaurant. It's in Green Lanes. And they do an amazing breakfast and brunch menu. And he tried something called the shibir. I probably did just destroy the Turkish language right there. Didn't do it justice, but it's called the shibir. And basically, get this, I don't know what you think about this, it's basically yogurt with eggs.
Yogurt with eggs?
Yogurt with eggs, yeah.
Okay.
Look at that reaction you're giving me.
All right, let's move on, because that was I need to
I'll give you their
that.
quick review on that one. He said it was an amazing combo, although it could have done with a couple more eggs.
Okay.
What are your picks, Taff? We've got a couple of minutes.
I'm only gonna pick one. Halal Chronicles. They're great bloggers. They've they always give a balanced view. And since we've been talking about fine dining, they're doing a section on fine dining. But I didn't pick that. I picked some hop rolls that they got from Curb Food. Hop rolls are Sri Lankan street food. They're basically
nice.
a bowl-shaped pancake with crispy edges, and you can put loads of curry and different things in it. So it's like a curry-filled pancake, Sri Lankan
curry-filled pancake.
Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
I know. I mean, I think about it and I think, wow. That's like I'm gonna try and cook it at home.
So you'd have to make the curry,
Yeah,
and then
put it in a bowl.
put it in a bowl, and then wrap the batter of the pancake. No, cook the pancake first, then put the curry in, and then wrap it.
Oh, that was a great dissemination of how to cook a curry.
Did I reverse engineer it right, or is that just, did I butcher it?
No, it's perfect. Like it's flawless logic.
All right, cool.
Flawless logic.
I've got to give that a try. So that is what's a hop roll, by the way? Why is it called a hop roll?
I don't know why it's called a hop roll, but it's just maybe because you can hop. No, I don't know. Sorry, I tried to reverse engineer it. I couldn't. Right.
Maybe because you could hop. How about we hop on to the next next segment?
Yes, let's do that. So we'll be back right after these messages.
Halal Hangouts, welcome back. Guys, remember, catch us on Instagram at Halal Hangouts. Catch us on YouTube, Halal Hangouts. And catch us on Twitter at Halal Hangouts UK. Get on IG now as well if you want to ask us some questions. Now, Taf, you know what time it is. The second part of our show is always the lifestyle show, where we don't just talk about food, we talk about life.
I like life, and I talk about it a lot.
Okay, sir.
Yes.
I like life.
So
I like life as well. We all like life.
I mean, I love being alive. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't? So I want to talk to you about something.
The birds and the bees, bro. We can't have that conversation live on air, man.
Well, all right, dude. Well, I thought maybe we could have a mano chat about it, but we can take that offline.
Okay.
Generation M, who are they?
Generation M, Generation Mandela, Generation Muslim.
Generation Muslim. There's a new generation in town. It's Generation Muslim. That's all of you guys out there. Well, many of you guys out there. A lot of our followers out there. They're Generation Muslim. And when I say Generation Muslim, I'm talking about, the new generation of Muslims that are coming up in the scene, doing big things. They might be Gen Z, they might be millennials. They might fall into the 80s, the 90s, the noughties. And, they're born in that era. And like us, we are Generation M. So, mashallah, in this generation, there's a lot more, there's a lot of inspirational stuff happening around us. And I want to talk about two areas which are really interesting in this for us, for Generation M. And that's fashion and food. So we'll talk about food in this one, but we'll talk about it from a progressive nature.
Okay. So let me just take a step back there. So we're talking about Generation M, a generation of Muslims, young Muslims that have maybe been young Muslims that have aspirations, ideas, that are CEOs, CTOs. They're making moves on all types of different scenes. We're talking about those kind of Muslims. So what is it about? Like, why is it a thing? Like, why do we care about the clothes and stuff that Muslims are making?
It's not, I don't know if it's... Well, we should care, number one. We need to bring our brands up. There needs to be more representation from our communities in terms of bringing brands to the forefront and making them more commercial, more mainstream. Because that's important, because we have many brands which have not made it and have not made it big. And that's it's something that we need to all work together to bring up. But if you just think about the fashion and the apparel market, it's worth £207 billion globally.
Wait, hang on.
Yeah, £207 billion globally.
So all those shalwar kameezes and stuff like that, 207 billion.
Guys, I'm sorry about Altaf. His knowledge of fashion doesn't extend beyond the shalwar kameez.
All right, the thobe then. What is it? What are we talking about here?
We're talking about fashion that is modest fashion, right?
Okay.
So we're talking about, it doesn't necessarily need to be modest in the sense that we think of a thobe, or we think of a shalwar kameez, or we think of traditional Islamic attire, right? It's not about that. It's about what is halal, what is permissible, right? And, of course, there's a bit of a grey line as well. You know, we're not here to deliberate on that. But let's just catch all brands that are run by Muslims. Yeah, that they're trying to do something big for the industry
for Muslims,
or no, it could be beyond that. But it might be that they're being run also by Muslims.
Okay, so I got you. Is this also talking about how Zara and other brands are taking into consideration Muslims and the first Muslim models on the catwalk, and is that the kind of thing we're talking about?
I mean, in the next 2-3 years, the market's going to grow by tens of billions. Yeah, and part of that is helped by mainstream brands like your Zara's, like your DKNYs, like your Nikes. They're coming out and they're producing fashion and serious fashion with serious promotion, with serious branding behind it for the Muslim market. That's what they're doing because they know that this industry is huge. So you got M&S, like you mentioned. You got Zara.
Right.
They've got a range. Mango have got a range. They're all stocking modest fashion. Okay. Have you seen this? Or
I'm. When I think about it, I think you're right. We're seeing a change in the high street, like maxi dresses, and I'm just trying to think back of all the things I've paid for my wife. Maxi dresses, like different types of hijabs, different types of modest pants, all jumpsuits. All of this is geared towards Muslims, but it's not done in the guise of traditional like attire. This is new stuff. This is new kind of.
Well, you said hijabs, yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, obviously this isn't our expertise, but D&G have started getting into a range of like richly embroidered hijabs, for example.
Oh wow!
Nike produced the sports wear apparel for hijab, so that Muslim athletes, if they want to compete, whether it's casually or professionally, they have something that they can represent their faith and wear in that that is permissible. So
what about like swimming and stuff? Are there advancements in that area?
There is actually, isn't it? The burkini, is that the one?
Oh, the burkini.
The burkini. Burkini.
Okay.
I don't know. Is there any other stuff you could think of? I mean, I guess swimming. There of course there is. We see that. When you go abroad, you see it. But
I think the burkini has made a few advancements. Like there's just modest swimwear in general. Like even for men, there's a range, I think, for all different types of people and how they choose to dress. There's so many choices now. So I think you're right. You're onto something, man.
Is this something that you would consciously consider though? Because I know so what kind of places do you like buy your fashion from?
So
apart from Shalvakami shops on Green Street.
Oh yeah, obviously. Thank you. Maybe like ASOS and Buy the Look has always worked for me. I'm not, and most of my shopping is done by other people.
Yeah.
So I can't really comment.
So there's a big company which is called Modernisa. Have you heard of those guys?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So they're actually a really progressive company because they're actively targeting again the Muslim market, but they're all over the globe now. And if you look at their website, from top to bottom, because it's not just about having great products, and it looks like they have great products. It's about having fashionable products. It's about being in tune with the market as well, and understanding the needs of Generation M have definitely changed. We're more progressive. We look at fashion trends. We're more interested in fashion trends versus previous generations. Yeah,
right.
And we want options. So Modernisa is an example of a company that's doing it, and they've got a huge range of clothing that to pick from. These are the kind of companies that I hope we see more of, because with this growing industry, fashion is such a big part of it.
Yeah, but I think this Generation M movement extends further than fashion, and you mentioned it earlier, but I want to talk about the food. I want to talk about like the Nando's, the KFCs, the Subways, all starting to serve halal food. Now, is this part of the Generation M wave? Is this all part of it?
It's part of the movement.
Oh, it's a
part of the
movement.
It's a movement now. Generation
Oh, wow.
M can stand for so many things.
Okay.
Yes, is the short answer. I mean, the Halal Forum in Malaysia, they say that halal food accounts for 17% of the global food market.
Oh, wow.
Think about that, right? Not every country, firstly, is a Muslim country.
Yeah.
There's 1.8 billion Muslims, but 17% of the world food market is halal food. So it's huge. And I reckon, I mean, it'd be good to see the stats in the UK, but I reckon it's a massive part of the meat consumption.
I mean, the meat consumption in my house, I suppose, on my road, is probably
higher than the UK, 50 times the UK average.
my carbon footprint is probably.
Yeah, you better start.
No, I'm trying. I've tried some meat-free mince. I've got some corn in my freezer. I'm trying to do it, but it's, I just love that steak, man.
Of course, man. And you know what? This conversation is about progressive nature of Generation M in the food industry. It's I guess less about the being more conscious of our footprint. That's another conversation, and it's an interesting one we should talk about. But you got Nando's, which is serving halal in 1 in 4 of their restaurants now.
Oh yeah. You know what? I went to Nando's this week. I actually went to Nando's this week, and one thing.
Cheeky?
Yeah, it was a cheeky Nando's.
Was it a cheeky time?
It was a cheeky time.
What time was it?
It was about 6:45.
Oh,
that's quite
that's
cheeky.
Sort of cheeky. That's sort of just after work and just before dinner.
Yeah,
that's very cheeky of you, Taff.
And then I had a Plaza, and I haven't been for a while. And they're the first brand that started the rewards cards, like that I would actually participate in. I've never bothered with anything else apart from Nando's, because once I got whole chicken, and then from then that was it. I was hooked. One thing I want to say about Nando's is that they've changed. The straws that they use. Like normally the straws that you have in restaurants and stuff, they're made of this cardboard mesh, and then you start drinking and it just like turns into paper mache on your mouth, and you can't drink anything out of them. And you know what I'm talking about?
You just spoke about carbon footprint, right? This is all goes towards
it. No, but
right?
the reason I wanted to bring this up is because they had really good straws.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, they didn't disintegrate into like a vapor. They actually they stood firm, and they let me finish my drink. And you know what I love about Nando's is they've got that all the drinks where you can buy a bottomless drink, and I started to mix it up. This is where I started experimenting. And if for those of you who don't know, Coke and a little bit of like Fanta, I think it is, tastes great.
That's my mix. That is my jam as well. You know what it is? It's a Coke Zero.
Yeah.
And you just want to be a bit cheeky because it's Nando's.
Yeah.
You put sort of about, maybe about, I don't know, 20 mil of Fanta just to top it up. Just get a little bit of sugar in there. I think that's a good mix. Some people look at me like you're crazy, but obviously you're a man who knows what he's doing when it comes to the to the mixology of soft drinks.
Absolutely, and I learnt it from a little boy. He was just like his mum. He must have been about 6 years old, and the glass was bigger than his head, and he went. And he was just like. It was like maybe the first time that he tried it, and he just, when people are naive and they just do something, it's like innovation. And I saw it, and it was like this eureka moment. I thought, wow, that's a great idea. Let me try it. And then I tried it, and it was amazing.
It took you 35 years to figure it out.
Yeah, but this was ages ago. This was like when Nando's first came out. So I've been doing it. I'm a mixologist.
You're a mixologist veteran, and talking on the subject of food and Generation M, and actually the brand you mentioned it earlier, Taff, where you were talking about the big brands, the commercial brands that are kind of trying to take that Generation M pound, right? Subway, they're serving halal in 1 in 10 of their stores right now.
1 in 10.
1 in 10, dude.
Do they serve the bacon butties and stuff?
They serve the halal bacon butty.
Oh, nice.
Which is basically turkey.
Okay.
Isn't it? Yeah, it is.
Well, yeah, I don't know.
Rashers.
I'm I don't know. Sometimes they don't.
Do they serve bacon in halal in Subway?
I don't know.
I don't think
I'm
they do.
I'm not a big Subway. After the veggie patty, like I just stopped from Subway. Like that used to be my.
You're missing out.
Oh really?
Yeah, go in there, get yourself, choose your bread, 6-inch, 12-inch. You know, I like a bit of Italian or a bit of whole wheat. It just depends how I'm feeling. And then I'll just put some. I usually get chicken breast,
right?
A bit of their garlic sauce, which goes nicely on that. All the salad. I don't take anything away from the salad. You know, just load it up with your salad. Get those good carbohydrates in.
Yeah,
and your vitamins and minerals, and that's me. You know what? It's actually quite nice.
Okay, I'm gonna pay them a visit now since you've mentioned
right now
it.
we're doing a show.
You're doing a show?
Yeah. You gonna wait till afterwards?
Oh no, I was confused. I forgot where I was for a minute.
Yeah.
Oh, we're doing a show.
We'll go afterwards.
All right, yeah, sorry.
Relax. KFC. What's your thoughts on those guys? I mean, they divide opinion, but they're halal now. You can't go anywhere in East London without finding a halal KFC now. Or in London, in a lot of parts of London, actually.
Yeah. You know, KFC's got they had the 20 wings for £6 deal. That was amazing.
What?
20 wings for
£20
£6.
wings for £6.
And I blasted through 20 wings on my own.
And their wings are quite chunky. They're not small.
Yeah, they're a bit crispy, but and they've got a bit of a kick to them. So that I enjoyed that offer. Talking of offers, they've got like an app that you can download and you get free points.
Really?
Like yeah, I've started trying to, I go to these places and they give me 0 rewards, and sometimes I feel a bit let down. But now I have the app and I can go and just scan the QR code.
So they're obviously seeing like these, like your KFCs, your halals, or Subway. They're obviously seeing the market.
Yeah,
and you're seeing obviously just the proliferation of halal restaurants around the UK.
Yeah,
it's crazy. Think about when we were growing up.
Oh yeah.
There wasn't that option. There wasn't that much options.
Michael's fish and chip shop, and there was like PFC, GFC, FFC.
Basically KFC. Have you seen their branding they did around their marketing they did around that?
No.
They basically it was a tongue in cheek, and they'll have like PFC and they're basically saying thanks guys for the compliment, to say you guys basically named yourselves after KFC, the original. So KFC or PFC or Chicken Cottage or Dixie, which one's it going to be, Taff? 2 seconds to decide. 1, 2.
KFC. KFC.
So you like the crunchy?
I like the crunch. I like the Colonel's special secret recipe. You can't beat it. The chips are a bit. I don't like the potato skin chips these days. But I would KFC all day long.
KFC. I think I'm gonna go with KFC stroke Dixie.
You can't be stroke.
Okay, I'm gonna go with KFC.
Oh, okay.
I became a KFC fan because of my brother and my sister, and they started doing something called KFC Fridays, where they go get a bucket, KFC bucket, and nice. It made me convert to KFC.
Got you hooked.
So just to finish off, I guess, do you think that there's any specific predictions you can imagine for the future of Generation M in the 1 minute we have for this segment?
I think there's going to be a digital transformation. I think everything's going to be online, and Generation M is going to be at the forefront. It's going to be up there.
We've become. I think you're right, and I think just to finish out here, I think Generation M is basically, and we're talking the next generation, the younger generation. They're a digital native generation. You're right, and everything they do, they've got that digital literacy, so they'll be able to hopefully scale and succeed. So good luck, Gen M. Gen M. Damn. See what I did there?
Yeah, I see that. So now it's see what I'm going to do. I'm going to go on a break. So we'll be back after these messages.
Halal Hangouts, and we are back. So, Taff, it's hanging out time. This segment is all about hanging out with our listeners, taking questions from our listeners and our followers on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. But first, we like to call this little segment here, What's Trending This Week? Taff, what's trending this week, man?
Okay, so KSI vs Logan Paul. The result.
Ooh.
Yeah,
So we spoke about this in the last podcast. Thoughts?
Well, it was a controversial one. It was they didn't have headgear this time. The boxing on display was atrocious, as you would expect from them. But the result was very interesting. I mean, the way it started, it was like, KSI coming out really sort of strong, and then he faded a bit, and then Logan started coming up, and then it finished with Logan, knocking KSI down, but it was illegal, and he was docked points, and it was this kind of like, did he win? Didn't he win?
Who did you have?
I actually thought Logan Paul won because the knockdown. The referee, I feel, it was very harsh to dock the points because it's a fight. When you're going down, and he didn't hit him while KSI was on the floor, but he's saying that he pulled him down from the back of the head. But in the fight between AJ and Klitschko, that's exactly what happened.
I agree with you. I think the shot, and where was the warning? That's so odd. The referee didn't give a warning. A little bit iffy there. But then again, the referee is supposed to be highly regarded. I think Logan Paul was the more the composed fighter. Like KSI was just swinging. There's we call it telegraphing. You and I, we're versed in a bit of MMA and a bit of boxing, and he was telegraphing. And I'm really surprised because he was supposed to have had training from the legendary Mayweathers, right?
Okay.
And just the basics went out the window. He was aggressive. I'll give him that. I'm glad he won, representing the UK. But, I don't know. It was a bit of a dead fight, if I'm honest. The quality of the boxing was poor. But they made money, dude. They made that moolah.
Do you know how much they grossed?
No.
150 mil, rumours have it.
Shut up.
150 mil all in, like the fight, ticket sales, promotion.
No way. 150 million. Yeah, but that's revenue. That can't be what they took home.
No. Not what they took home, but like your average boxing. So even the top boxing fights the revenue generated is nowhere near 150 mil.
I know. These fights are bigger than mainstream boxing fights. We're talking Joshua level fight in terms of viewership.
Yeah.
And the guy both of them came from YouTube, from Vine.
Yeah. I wonder how boxers, like professional boxers, feel about that. People that have dedicated their life to the sport, are at the top of their game, they're elite, and they get paid small amounts. I feel the same way about my football career. Like my Sunday, I feel like I put so much effort and time into playing football.
Did get paid millions.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the same thing. I think what it is, they've got the clout.
Yeah.
You can't beat the clout. They've got this really die-hard audience.
Yeah.
That prays on their every word. That is waiting to see what they do next. And it can be a FIFA video or it can be a boxing fight. They're just going to pay for it, or they're going to tune in, and they're like super fans. Exactly, super fans. And they both got super fans, and that's what sells tickets. That's what sells subscribers. Subscriptions to the apps. So good on them. But talking about big budgets, man, have you seen the new Sonic the Hedgehog trailer?
Sega. No, I haven't.
Were you Sega or Nintendo?
Nintendo.
You're my arch nemesis. You're Robotnik.
Yeah, I am. I'm straight up Nintendo Donkey Kong.
Really?
Yeah.
I used to like Nintendo, Mario. But when you had that friend, I literally had a friend across the road that had a Nintendo, and I had a Sega, and it was just countless arguments it was, to be honest, we were both hating on each other because we would have like Street Fighter, they'd have like Street Fighter, Nintendo obviously, and we would have, you know, Sonic the Hedgehog, they'd have Mario Kart, and it was just a back and forth battle, as in who's got the best console, who's got the best games. You know, the days when it was like, it really mattered.
I mean, the Mega Drive looked better than the Nintendo. The Nintendo looked like a letterbox.
What's Duck Hunt? Do you remember Duck Hunt?
Oh, that was the gun.
Gosh.
Oh, you can't beat that.
The most inaccurate gun of all time. That was so funny. Yeah, no. So Sonic, back to Sonic the Hedgehog. So this, like, you know, we all remember the game. Yeah. It was a classic game. But now they're releasing a movie, man. I'm so excited. So releasing in February 2020, and it's a $90 million production. And I saw the animated, not the animation. So it's a CGI,
right?
It's Sonic is obviously CGI,
right?
And it just looks. It's kind of, you know, like Ted.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of animated in that way.
Is it for
CGI
children?
Ted? It is for children. It is. I think. Well, that's a good question. Actually, I'm not sure. Good question. I think it is. It looked child friendly when I was watching the trailer, but Sonic looks. You got to check out the trailer. It's got crazy amount of views because it's just. I think that's going to be a big one. But basically, the premise of the movie is Sonic has to destroy or prevent evil from Dr. Robotnik. And guess who plays Dr. Robotnik?
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Dr. Robotnik. No, Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey.
Yes.
Oh,
Who
right.
better?
Oh, I thought because Dr. Robotnik. You know,
Is Dr. Robotnik Russian or I'm trying to work it out right now.
Yeah, well, you know, Nick at the end of the name against Russian.
Might be Indian.
Okay.
So that's what's trending this week.
So giveaway time. We have fat burgers for all our callers. Questions. Where we're expecting some questions from you guys, so like call in and give us some questions and you might just win a fat burger. So let me ask you a question, Shaz. So this is from Azanti UK, one of our Instagram subscribers. Maybe. So
I just noticed we've got loads and loads of questions that have come in from our followers. Thank you on Instagram. We've got a good lot here, so go on, Taff, go ahead.
All right, so have you guys ever thought of doing I'm a Celebrity food challenge, like eating crickets, kangaroo meat, ostrich? It would be good, entertaining to see that. That's from Azanti UK.
What, like Amir Khan did?
Yeah, when he stole the strawberries. Yeah.
Never.
No. Okay.
I mean, why would we? Would you do it?
No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't get it. If they're going to pay me millions, maybe, but I wouldn't. No.
If you were to choose a new type of halal cuisine for a new restaurant, what would that be?
Who's that from?
That's from Azanti UK again.
Same.
Really good question, because there's many Chinese, steak, Indians, English, Turkish, Arabic, etc. What's missing? Is the question.
I would say there is lack of Russian food.
Russian food.
Yeah, like a plov.
Oh yeah.
You can't beat a good plov.
Oh no, you got it there. So
do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a plov.
Like, that's straight comfort food, and it's pretty good for you as well.
Yeah. No, you're right. I was thinking of like grosh and
grosh.
Like, yeah. No, but you're right.
What about like good sausages? Like a good German sausage, halal one. Nah.
No.
Not into.
Okay, let me ask you another one. I am Akbar Khan said, please record a video while eating the Viper snake wing from Orange Buffalo, the hottest wings in London. So like doing a chili challenge.
Right, tell I am Akbar Khan that he can go to our, is it Man vs. Food video where we did the wings challenge. Dude, like those guys were hospitalized. Abu, the other guy on our channel, he was hospitalized. So that about sums up that. So there's no way. And we've done challenges before with Ghost Chili and it doesn't end well.
No.
So I've got one for you, Taff.
Go on.
This comes from Sakina Tours.
Okay.
They said they've promised us, that's not really a question actually, they've said they've promised us to take us Jordan and show us around Jordan.
Michael Jordan?
No, Jordan, i.e. the country, Jordan.
Oh, wow. Sakina tours, that they do tours around that area, those regions, right? So, yeah.
Hold on, does that mean they're going to pay for us,
Well,
Sakina tours?
I
Please
mean,
clarify.
Please clarify. Yeah, that would be amazing.
For photography media, what is... I hope I'm pronouncing this right, by the way. Photography media. What is the best way to find the best halal food? Well, this is gonna be biased, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a YouTube channel called Halal Hangouts. They go to all the best places. But, you know, I'd say just look around on Instagram, Google. I mean, the food bloggers are really out there and doing good things. So I'd follow where they go. So here's another one for you, Shaz. Pre-Salim, I think it is. Pre-Salim? Mm-hmm. What's your favourite places to eat?
Restaurant-wise? Oh, man. Caught me off guard here.
All right,
I'm going to say Meat Company is up there for steaks for me.
Right.
So I'm going to put that in there as one of my favourite steak houses.
Okay.
What about you?
I like eating on my sofa. Okay.
That's a good one.
Yeah. It's my favourite place to eat. If I could eat in the comfort of my own home on my sofa.
Fair enough.
You know,
I see what you've done there.
Yeah.
All right, you're smart.
Drop the mic. Nan and Chai says, have you tried Afghani Baya?
I have. Afghani Baya, which is the hoof, right?
Yep.
Is it the goat's hoof? Is that right? Am I getting it right?
That's all right. So this is the last question before we end our show. Thanks to all our subscribers. What Abs Eat says, why are there more halal chicken than there are halal meat?
Why is there more halal chicken? Huh?
Okay, and we're going to leave you right there. With
no, hold on a minute. Let's decipher this question. Don't leave it right there. Why is there more halal chicken?
What came first, the chicken
meat?
or the egg?
What came first, the halal chicken or the halal meat? Oh, I think he means, why is there more places that have halal chicken in than halal meat?
Okay, options. Guys, that's all we have time for. Goodbye.